Hello everybody and welcome back to Balake Farmed. So you join me still in October and I've just baled the hay quickly off camera just so I could make some cow food so we could keep the cows all fed. So this month we've got the soybeans in front of me to harvest, so we need to go get the combine, bring them in, and then we'll get them into storage, and then we're waiting on the last bit of cropping, which is going to be the sunflowers in the second field. Now once that is all done, we are going to skip through a few months and we're going to start trying to sell all of the produce. So we've got quite a lot of apples, peaches, lemons and orange at the orchard, so we're going to try and load them all up. We've got a lorry trailer to try and make it a little bit quicker, so we will be selling quite a lot of produce when the time is right. So this is the trailer, and as you can see, it's got a load in it already. I've been slowly trying to work on them. So yeah, we need to fetch the combine over, and we need to start our soybeans because they are ready to harvest. After that we will probably end up running the horses, make sure they get their daily exercise, and then after that we'll be moving on. Or we might stay in October and we might do a bit of selling because there's plenty of crops, well, plenty of produce to be sold, shall I say. There's plenty of cider. I've sped everything up so everything is ready to sell. So once this episode's done, we should get a nice grand total of how far we've come. So we'll get the combine over to the yard. I just had to cheat, go through the hedge because it's a bit big, this is. And then what we'll do is we'll start on that soybean harvest and we'll get that in. So we'll have a look in a second, see what we've got in storage. I think we need to feed the chickens as well. It would be nice to get the chickens fed up so we can get some more eggs to sell next year. We've also, the potatoes are making crisps nicely. So yeah, let's get over there. Let's change the headers over. Let's get that normal header put back on, the grain header, and let's get them soybeans done. There's only 2 small fields, so I'm not expecting massives. To be honest, I would almost expect to get them all in the combine. I can't see it being much more than that. So we'll just chuck this header over here for now. Nice big header, absolutely ideal. So if we just check on the animals, I have just give the goats some more food because they've got plenty of milk there. So yeah, the chickens need feeding. The goats are all happy. The cows are now all topped up. As you can see, both of them running efficiently. So the manure will move over to the orchard, but obviously that is already fairly well full of fruit, so we're going to need to get moving quite a lot of it. So this episode we'll try and sell a load of different products. We might not be able to sell them all because it could take quite a while with how many trips we've got to do. I mean, I could set everything to auto sell. I am half tempted to do that just so we makes it a bit easier, but obviously I know we'll be losing out on a bit of price, which is slightly annoying. But when you've got quite a lot of pallets of different things, it might be well worth it. So the fruit, the orchard, I might do that because the fruit doesn't sell for too much trailer load. It's not massive, but whereas the cider going to the right place, it's quite a big difference in the pricing. So we will have a look and I'll double check and then we might get it set up to auto sell. But yeah, let's head over here, and as you can see, our 2 soybean fields are ready. So let's get the combine parked up down here with its header. Oh, just caught the tree with the combine apparently. Let's just move that out of the way. Must be a low slung branch or a collision just there. Right, let's get this header chucked on. So it's a shame we don't have the size of the corn header, because the corn header is pretty massive. I mean, to be fair, this is no small header, but the corn header is just ginormous. Right, let's get set up. And there we are. Our first bit of soybeans. Right, let me quickly whip through these 2 fields. Shouldn't take many minutes. And then we can get it into storage, ready for when the prices peak. But yeah, and then we will move on to probably selling some produce. Right, so we have actually filled up after the first field and a couple of rounds in the second field. So we're just going to jump in the Unimog, grab the Bailey's trailer, because the lorry is a bit busy at the moment. I don't think we'll get too much more off the field. Wherever we park the Bailey's down here. Yeah, we'll go get this put on, get unloaded, and then like I say, we can get it into storage. Ooh, let's get lined up a bit better than that. It's a bit skippy down the hill. Right, let's get the trailer on. But yeah, so we were up to 14,000 litres, so it's more than I thought we was going to get out of the 2 fields so far. They're only real small fields really, they're nothing too big. There we go. So I'll be excited to see what that fetches us. I think it'll be next June. I think that's when the best price is. Ooh, we are struggling up the hill a bit. Struggling to find a gear. There we go. I'll manually take over. And let's go get that combine emptied. So I think we'll definitely get it all in this one trailer. So I think the trailer holds quite a few thousand more litres than we're going to get. But yeah, the first field didn't yield too badly, to be fair. It nearly filled the combine on its own. And then I think we've done half of the headland and 1 strip up. And yeah, filled the combine. So I'm not going to grumble at that. I think it's fairly good. So it's 14,000 litres going into our trailer. Right, let me get cracked on with this. It shouldn't be too much longer now. And then we'll start selling some produce. But there we go. Soybeans into the trailer. There we are. We have got 20,000 litres of soybean off the two fields. So we'll get this tipped into our silo. And then, like I say, we'll probably be selling it. Ooh, there was a bit of a bump there. It launched me. Yeah, so we'll probably sell this in June, because I think that's the best time. But we'll have a quick look in a second. And then we'll just check what other crops we've got, and we'll just check all of on the pricing of all the different bits and bobs, so we don't miss any months. Unimog struggling to find what gear it wants to be into tonight. I'm having to assist it quite a bit. Right, let's tip that. Now let's have a look what we've got in storage. So we've got 49,000 litres of corn, which we'll be selling in June, because it's the best price. Oats, if the horses don't need it, we can sell most of that in December for a very good price. And then soybeans, yet again, is June, and it's £5,000 per 1,000 litres, so that's really good. Straw, we might have to do a couple of runs in December for the straw. Sunflowers, I am running through the oil mill, so we're not too worried about that. And the wheat, we're giving to the chickens, so I might just keep that, and then we can always turn it into flour, worst comes to worst. So let's have a look at this. So we need to turn the sunflower on. To be fair, I might actually, I won't do oats. I'm going to activate the wheat, but I am going to just pull out a trailer of wheat to go feed the chickens. So let's, oh, the Moggy is really struggling to go backwards. So let's get a load of wheat in here. Soybean, wheat, there we go. So we don't need too much. We'll probably keep 10,000 litres. The chickens on this map don't tend to eat a lot, so they've taken a long time to get through their food. But yeah, I think they'll only hold, I think it's about 7,000 litres anyway. So we'll go get this tipped, and we can always leave this trailer there. We might need it for sunflowers, but we can always use the lorry if need be, because after we've got this tipped, we will start and sell some of the fruit pallets there. So we'll keep loading them up and we'll get them sold, and then we can see how much money we're going to make off them. So I don't think they overly make too much money per 1,000 litres, but because of the quantity we've got, I think that's where we will win. It'll be like sugar beet or that kind of thing. Not massive money, but the volume is what makes us the money. Let's get these chickens fed again, because they will be hungry. Yes, it took about 7,000 litres, so I'll leave the mug there with that on the back for now. Let's jump in the lorry, and let's go and sell this first load at the farmer's shop. And then we'll come back, and we'll keep ferrying until we run out. So I think there's quite a lot of pallets, and I put a lot of manure in there. I think there's a crazy amount of pallets, so going to be quite a few trips. I'll do a load, and then if we think, this is taking a long time, we'll move on them to selling their own, and then we'll take the lorry down to the cider factory and the jam factory, and we'll go clean up what's down there. So obviously I turned the apple production off quite a while ago, and the raspberry production off quite a while ago, so whatever's there is just what has been made from what we've already produced. So let's see what a full trailer is, and then we'll just keep carting it back and forth. And like I say, if we think that it's taking too long, we'll just set it to auto sell and then do it that way. Right, let's get this lorry back in here. Let's get it back in here. And let's get it unstrapped. So yeah, 57,000 plus the little bit at the front of the trailer. So yeah, not bad really. It's about £60,000 for a full lorry load. not too shabby, not to be sniffed at that. And I think we've got quite a lot to go at. So I'm going to sit now and I'm going to do quite a few trips. And then we'll see where we're at. And if it's going to, I'll keep an eye on it. And if it's going to take ages, I'll set it to auto sell. Right, so we did get the fruit sold. I set most of it to selling because there was loads and loads of pallets and the price wasn't much different. But I thought I'd show you what a trailer load of cider is going to make us. So let's get it sold. So that's 230,000 for 60,000 litres. So there's plenty more to go from there. So we'll carry on. We'll get mostly wrapped up. And then I might set it to selling again because there's quite a few. And it's still producing at the moment. Even though the glass house has been empty for a long time, it has still got loads. I reckon we'll run out of sugar before we run out of apples though. But let's carry on getting these loaded. And then we'll catch up once we've sold all the jam as well. And we can see what we're doing. But at the moment, we're at 2.8 million. Right, let's sell some jam. So we've got, I think it's 49 pallets on board. So let's get these sold. Another 310. That takes us over the £3 million mark. And I'm expecting a load of money to come in at 12. Yeah, there we go. So that's another quite a lot of money. So that's £5,300,000 now off of the rest of the produce that we was going to sell. So yeah, we're not doing too badly. So this now leaves us with the slurry to move to the biomass plant here so we can turn it into energy. And basically the sunflower oil, that is producing as we speak as well, so we will soon need to move that. I don't actually know when the best price is for that. We're going to leave that because its auto sell is not as good. Let's just have a look at sunflower oil. And we've got 80 bags of crisps to sell, which we want to do ASAP because the price is dropping significantly. We can still get at the farmer's market, which is where we are. We can still get a really good price. So we'll bring them up here quickly. Sunflower oil. So yeah, we've only just put it in, activated, and it dropped. So March next year looks like a good point, so we're not in any rush. We'll keep hold of them. But yeah, let's run back to the yard now and let's go get all them crisps loaded up because we don't want to miss the good price. Right, let's head down there now and let's get them sold, and that should take us over, I would imagine, the £6 million mark. Right, so here is the last of our potato chips. So 94,000 litres. Let's get them sold. I think that is them all sold. So yeah, another £600,000. We didn't quite make the £6 million mark, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, we've still got plenty to do. So we've got the bread. We're turning stuff into flour, and it's down at the bakery. So we will have the trailer down there at the bakery ready for December to sell the bread. So I'm going to run the trailer down there now. And then if all of our other jobs, I might just have to go run the horses quickly. Once that's done, we will move on to next month and we'll start to get the rest of those sunflowers in. And then that'll be all of the harvesting done. We can concentrate on selling all of the crops, the eggs, and absolutely everything. And we'll get a grand total from this series of how much money we've made. I mean, it won't take into account the land and everything, but we can see what physical cash we would have had and we know we would have been fairly successful at £6 million. We could pretty much have bought majority of the map already, and we could have had anything we wanted. So yeah, it's been quite a successful series. Made quite a lot of produce, helped out with the orchards and the different bits and bobs we've done with the cows and everything. So yeah, it's been rather successful. I'm going to fire this down there. I'm going to load up what bread's there already, and then I'm going to bring the lorry back because I need to move slurry over, and we might need it to cart in the sunflowers next month. And then once that's all done, we can go back to the bakery again, fill up what's left, and we can sell all of the bread. So there should be quite a few loaves of bread to get sold in December. Obviously next month as well we'll have the eggs to sell, but we'll take the Unimog and the Bailey's trailer because I don't think we're going to have too many eggs. I think there's about 5 pallets there, so it won't be the end of the world. And we've still got all of the goat's milk to sell as well. We'll wait for the best time for that as well, and that'll obviously refresh next month and make even more. So that's going to be an oncurring, very profitable purchase those goats up. Right, let's get in here, load the bread up, and I'll meet you back over at the yard. Right, so I just had a quick look, and what goat milk we've got is its best today, really. So £165,000 for that as well. Yeah, it was just about the right time for it today. If we left it any longer, it wouldn't be worth anything, really, until next... well, it's actually September, its best time is. I've just missed it by a day, but I think that's what they made overnight anyway. So we're going to have plenty more goat's milk in the coming month, as long as we move all those bales to them and keep them stocked up. I think we've got enough cow food to keep them stocked up. I did just have a look at the cow milk, and that's not good until January, so we'll get that sold in January. But I think that's everything bar the glass houses, which I'm going to go and load up now. I'm going to get all their produce loaded up. We'll get that sold. I think that's everything sold as far as we can for now. So yeah, we're at £6.2 million. So it'll be interesting to see how much more money we're going to make off what's left with the cider and obviously all of our crops, because the crops are a big part of making money as well. So let's get all these loaded up. I don't think there's much here. I think there's only the 5 pallets outside of each one. Oh, sticky keys. So yeah, we'll get that loaded up, and then we'll back down there and we'll get that one loaded up as well. And then we'll take it up to our usual sell point and we'll get them sold. And we'll see if we can hit the... I don't know if we'll hit 6.3. I'm hoping we will, but I'm not sure. Let's find out. Right, I'll see you over there. The 15,000 litres of glasshouse stuff, let's find out. 38,000. Ooh, we're just shy of hitting that £6.3 million mark. But not to worry, we're going to go back to the yard now. We're going to go and have a sleep because we've had a busy day running around in the lorry. And then we're going to start harvesting that last sunflower field. And then we can basically move on and get absolutely everything sold. Just got to remember at what point we can sell everything. I have turned the oats on to making flour as well, because the horses don't need any at the moment, so there's no point of saving it for them. We might as well find out what money we could have made. There's quite a lot of oats in there as well. It's 40,000 litres, so we might as well turn it into something like bread, and then we can sell it all in December. But it's going to be a few trips because the trailer is almost full already. And we've got 2 different crops making us even more flour. So I'm going to go to sleep and I'll see you in November. So here we are in November and we've started the last bit of harvesting. It's our last sunflower field with this amazing corn header here. So we'll get this whipped up quickly. I don't think it's going to take too long, and we'll get it all into the mill, get it changing into sunflower oil, and then we will feed the goats because they'll need feeding, run the horses because they'll need running, and then we can move on to the next month, which I believe is going to be December, because that's when we're going to sell the bread and different bits. I've set everything to sell now. There's not much left, I don't think. I think that the cider factory's got a few apples left and sugar. The orchard's got the manure what it's processing now to make more fruit, and the glass house is obviously just doing their last little bit and bob. I think it's about 5 pallets a day, so yeah, they're just going to keep selling automatically. So I'll get this field harvested, and then I'll see you guys after we've got it done. It shouldn't take long at all with a header like this. So that is the sunflower harvest all done. The last harvest of this map, and it yielded 29,423 litres. It's a lot more than I was expecting. So we'll get this over to the mill if we make it. The Unimog is struggling today. It's usually slow, but it's usually a bit more powerful than this. But yeah, let's get this over to the mill. We'll get it changing into sunflower oil. Then we're going to take the low loader to grab what eggs we've got. We'll get them sold. We've also got a lot of goat's milk again, so we'll probably just take that while we're going through. Walk the horses, and then we'll move on into December, and we could start selling our bread, which will be nice. So as you can see, we've got some produce coming through there now. So let's get this sunflowers all tipped in here. Keep the mill all fed up. Now the trigger point is a bit, there we go. I'm trying to straighten up because it's pushing me away every time. It's a bit awkward because of where it is. It's just ever so slightly on the inner place, so it's very hard to get hold of that trigger. Let's just try and straighten her up and see if we can get the trailer open, and then we'll move that oil out of the way, and hopefully more can spawn. So obviously the lorry trailer is still down at the bakery, so we'll use the low bed for moving the eggs and goat's milk. So hopefully that'll let us tip it now. There, Oh, I think it's going to let us tip it. Perfect. So that is the last crop now into the mill. I will keep it. Oh, it took everything but 128 litres. Not to worry, we'll leave that processing. So we'll get that off. There shouldn't have been any flour, but obviously this is just residual flour. And there it goes. There is all of our sunflower oil. So just keep getting it all moved out the trigger. Best time for that is, I think we said was March, so we'll be holding it until then. No, that's everything it's got. So wicked. We'll leave that there, and then we can top it up with sunflowers later on. But for now, let's take this and let's go get those eggs sold, because it is November, the best time for egg selling. And then we'll pick up the goat's milk as well, because it's still a really good price and we've got an abundance of it, and get it sold. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll, like I say, we'll run the horses and then move on into December, where we will sell the bread, which quite a few thousand litres of bread in there, so should be a nice bit of a payday. So we got 4 pallets of eggs. I thought we had 5, well, 3 and a bit, but not the end of the world. Let's go pick up the goat's milk. Right, so here we are, first load of bread. I think we've got another half load, if not 3/4 load afterwards, but with 60,000 litres at the kiosk. Let's get it sold. Let's find out. So smooth, £500,000-ish. Taking us up to 7.9 million pound. I wonder, once we get the next load sold and we sell all the crops next year and the milk from the cows, if we are going to hit the golden £10 million. It would be nice. So we'll rush back down now and we'll go collect the next load of bread and let's get it sold. And then it's a case of moving into January, selling the milk, and then I think June is our next point, and then we'll sell anything else we've got all in June, and we'll get a grand total. Do you reckon we're going to hit 10 million? We're 2 million away. Let's find out. Right, so here we are with the rest of the bread. There's 43,000 litres, so let's get it sold. So another £350,000, taking us up to £8.3 million in the bank. We could retire quite happily now. So we're going to head back to the yard and drop this off at the yard. So I think what we've got to do next month is sell all of the cow's milk, and then all what will be left is to sell the corn, soybeans, and the sunflower oil. So the sunflower oil is March, so we will have to pop into March, and then it'll be a straight shot down to June, and let's find out the grand total of this series, and let's see how much money you can make in... Well, I think I've played the game for about 100 hours, so it shows you 100 hours worth of graft, how much money you can actually make. And probably could have been smarter and made even more. Who knows? Right, let's get back to the yard and let's have a sleep. And let's carry on selling. Right, so here we are at the first load of cow's milk to be sold in January. So this is the 18,000 litre tank. And I think there's plenty more to be sold after this. So let's get a baseline of what we're selling and then I'll sell the rest and we'll have a look at the money afterwards. So £40,000. Not bad for 18,000 litres, that isn't. So I reckon we've got about 2, maybe 3 more trips, or I go bring the big trailer, which is what I'm thinking I might do. I might go empty the slurry into the bio, keep that going, and then we'll bring the big tanker over, and we'll, yeah, let's find out what the milk will make. So if that made good money, a 50 litre tank's going to make even better. So I'll see you guys shortly. So this is the 45,000 litres of milk being sold, which takes us into the £9 million bracket. And we got £101,000 for that. So we have got another 15,000 litres to sell. So I'll quickly get that sold and then I'll join you guys in March when we sell the sunflowers. So we could have probably, in retrospect, bought a dairy or rented a dairy and we could have made it into, you know, cheese, chocolate, made a bit more money out of it. So yeah, we're at £9 million, but I reckon we could have made a little bit more if we had rented the dairy or bought it. But yeah, for now, let's get that next load in. I'll get it sold and then we will take all of the sunflower oil and get that sold. Right, let's see what 31,000 litres of the sunflower oil is going to make us. Oh, £228,000 plus £32,000 environmental, taking us up to £10.6 million. So yes, we've hit the £10 million threshold. I did stop to sell some goat's milk on the way, so yeah, we're doing really well. So now it's just time to sell the soybeans and the corn, and that should be all of our produce sold. So we might hit the, well, I think we're definitely going to hit the £11 million mark, but the question is, will we hit the £12,000 mark, £12 million mark? So let's find out. It's the last bit of selling to do and we are all up to date, so we'll skip on into June and we'll get loaded up. So here we are, let's sell the soybeans. As you might see, we're at £12 million. That's the fruit just selling in the background, and the rest of the cider and the glass houses and all the productions that are still running. So the soybeans sold for £120,000. So we'll go and grab the corn and we'll get that sold. So yeah, that's not bad, you know, £120,000 for 21 litres. Really worthwhile soybeans are, especially on this map with such a high price for it. But yeah, let's go grab that corn and we'll see where that's got to go. And then we can see what the grand total is. So I don't know what happened with the fruit trees. As you can see, they're just still running because I put loads of manure in it, and it's got water, so it's just running. But they've gone white. Now, I don't know what that is all about. Right, 49,000 litres of corn to get sold. And then that should be virtually everything. So, best price for the corn is the farmer's market. So we'll head up there, which I think, yeah, is the one where we've been selling the jam and everything. So it's not too far away. And let's get this sold. And then we've got one more trip back to the yard, sell the rest of that goat's milk, and then we can have a full tally up, and that will be the end of Chipping Norton. Right, let's sell this goat's milk. Oh, 80. And that takes us up to £12.5 million. So what a perfect way to end this series. £12.5 million richer, and that is from all of the produce we have made. So yeah, I did turn the factories up a little bit at the end, but that is what we would have made from the crops we had and the productions we had going. Obviously that would have been spread out over probably a year or 2 years, but yeah, it shows you how much money you can make in not a lot of time, and what a fabulous farm this has been to play on. So if you've liked today's episode, guys, please give it a thumbs up. Any suggestions of new series in the future, please leave them below. And if you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell, you'll get notification of the next episodes of Whitcomb Park Farm, Saxingham and Carmpston Farm. I'll see you guys over there.